Mr. Moore, how you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Dustin, and yourself?
I am excellent. It's an honor to have you on.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be talking to you, too.
Well, we'll start off. I know you are with the group now, New Blue, and I'm just wondering, how does one of the greatest soul singers of all time wind up on a George Jones tribute album?
Well, let's kind of step back a little bit. I was a guest. They were so gracious to want me to join them on a song in tribute to George Jones. But as you know, joining the group that's not it. It was just a song, not an album, and it was just a song that I did with them, which I was more gracious than ever to do with them.
So then, were you friends with George Jones before he died? Is that how you got
Yes.
into the project? Okay.
Absolutely. George and I really got much closer, believe it or not, in, I would say, 30 minutes, because I was in town in Nashville, when I say town, and I was in Nashville to record with Conway Twitty, Rainy Night in Georgia, and George was leaving. He had just finished with B.B. King doing Patches, and he stopped, and I stopped, and we started talking, and they had to call us in because he and I started running our mouths, and he let me know right away that I was a favorite singer, and I said it right back to him. You ever thought we were two old ladies talking? I said, man, you too. You know, I love it. I love your voice, and you said, I love yours too, Sam. But before he passed, would you believe, he personally sent me a note asking me to sing with, to come down for the tribute in Nashville. And I said, okay, only if you're singing with me. And he said, sing with you? I said, yeah, what can we sing? And I said, She Thinks I Still Care. And he said, well, okay, Sam. And, well, as you well know, it never happened. But, yeah, we turned out to be one of the best. He and Nancy turned out to be one of the best in whatever we want to say about two people.
Yeah, excellent. I heard the song, and definitely a beautiful song. And, of course, you made all sorts of historic songs for Stax Records, or you and Sam and Dave. Can you tell us a little bit about your time at Stax?
Stax was not only up and coming, but, you know, it was country at first, you know. You didn't know that.
Well, we had Steve Cropper on the show a couple of years ago, and he told us a little bit behind the history of it. So,
well, I don't know, you know, but my take on it was they were country at first, and then Estelle Axton, you know, and her brother, you know, they decided to do what they did with the record company. But can you believe a lot of that stuff came out of, at first, 8 tracks. And then it went from 8 tracks to 12, 16. But the first things that we recorded were on 8 tracks, like Hold On, I'm Coming, and Can't You Find Another Way, and stuff like that. Then it went up, it started going up. But the scream out would have to be with Hayes, Isaac Hayes, that got in there, a man that didn't read music at the time, but knew how to voice, put things together, taught me actually how to record, not how to sing, but how to record. And he made Sam and Dave, believe it or not, made Sam and Dave what they became in the music industry.
Yeah, definitely a great time in music for sure. And I know you and Dave kind of had a bit of a tumultuous relationship off stage. Do you feel like maybe some of that animosity kind of helped fuel the performance? Like maybe you tried to outdo each other?
No. Dave and I had like any group or artist, whatever, choir, whatever, you always have differences. That makes for a good performance. But no, he and I, we didn't socialize. We didn't do that. But once we got into the building and on stage, we actually it gave me a chance to really perform like I felt like I should have. But no. We battled each other on the stage, but not against anything else.
Sure. Well, obviously, you're part of, every Hall of Fame there is and have won every award you can. So, I mean, you don't have anything left to prove, but you're still out there doing it. I mean, what's keeping you out there? Is it just the passion for the music?
Well, yeah, at first, but now there's no way that I would, with the material that's out there today, would I trouble myself to try to make something out of it. Back in the day, if a song was not that well, you could take it and you could milk it to death and make something out of it with your voice. But today, the material that they're writing today has nothing to do with the heart and the mind, the soul, and the passion. It's all about how sexy you can make the song, or and I'm not sexy. At my age, I'm not sexy. So my wife is talking. So there's no way that I could, put on a skimpy suit and do what they do. But hey, this is good. I'm doing, Jesus and Jones, and I did with Conway, and I'm going to eventually do something with Marty Stewart and and Garth Brooks and all these people. Man, now that's where it all gets good. It's still good, but other than that, I wouldn't try to do any of this stuff. What they're doing today, they're complaining about. Well, so and so is covering all this, all their back stuff. Yes, because you ain't got nothing.
Well, yeah, it's good to know that you're out there, still doing it. And I wanted to ask you about your solo album, Plenty Good Lovin'. I know you recorded that, and it took probably about 30 years or so for that to come out. What was the story behind that?
Well, 30 years. It's 30 years that I didn't know where it was. And, there were, and I don't like to talk about it, but I had my problems and things, just like George did. And things got kind of crazy for a while, more than a while. And I didn't know where the album was. I didn't even know where I was when I did some of the songs or wrote some of the songs. But it turned out, things turned out okay.
Yeah, definitely. Well, again, it's been an honor having you on. It's so many great songs and such an important part of music history. Is there anything you want to leave the listeners with? Any final thoughts?
Well, the only thing I want them to do is give it a shot, give it a listen. Jesus and Jones along guest Sam Moore on New Blue. And listen, you might like it.
All right. Again, Sam, it's been an honor having you on. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, my friend.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.